Ba-ba-da! Hello. My name is Jess Marie. Welcome to Yesterday's Coffee Grounds, where I typically talk of things that I got going on in my life. So this week, I have lost my voice. You can hear a little bit. So I'm going to still try to push out this 10-minute video. I did film one video this week that was minorly on the verge of being controversial. And I was like, nope, I don't want to be that gal. I don't want to get into it today. Even though I think I just needed to express a little bit in that moment. But yeah, I was on the phone today with my dad. It's been a while, and when we talk for about an hour, 2 hours. And I called him because I felt like I got screwed on my taxes. I only had $190 taken off my taxes, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna owe money. And I just had this whole panic, and I asked him, he's like, Jessica, they're not gonna be coming after you. You don't even make close to $30,000 a year. They're not going to be coming after you. And we started talking about little ways that people starting up businesses and doing write-offs so that they can. He was explaining it all to me, and it makes sense to me, but it doesn't. So I kind of understand. It's not evading taxes, and it's completely legal, but he was explaining, you ever see somebody who's driving a brand new car, but they work for let's say $30 an hour, which, you know what, $30 is still, that's pretty good. That's almost double of what I make. It's still really good, but when rent for a 1-bedroom is $1,000 and a bag of groceries is $80, gas in the car, insurance on a new car, and all these things, he was explaining to me kind of how people go around starting up businesses that are legit businesses. They're legit businesses, but they can use things for certain kinds of write-offs, and he's like, I'm not saying look into something like that, but be a little bit more thoughtful and a little bit savvy with how you're going about your money. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? I have actually had a lot of struggle with my job, and I can't stand my job right now. I work in a liquor store, and I actually love the people. I love that. But when do you know that it's the right time to leave your job? I'm sure that you haven't worked one job your entire life. Comes a point where either you get fired, which I have, or you leave, which I have. I've been both those things. And it's just one of those things where it can come down to not being satisfied in your job, or you're not able to progress, or you have a better offer. And I think for me, because I make $18 an hour, it's not the best, but I make $18 an hour, and it's not really a lot of money, but I'm not satisfied. And I'm talking to my dad, and he's like, you know what, Jess, sometimes it doesn't matter what you want to do. It's just something that you have to do. And he's telling me the story of his fiance and how she didn't want to work in a bank, but she had 3 kids, and she wanted them to all play hockey, or they all wanted to play hockey. So send them through hockey and dance and all these extracurriculars, right? She didn't want to work in the bank, but she did what she did, and she sacrificed so that they can do these things. And I don't know how I can put myself in that position where some people say as soon as you become a parent, all your selfish needs go away, or especially moms, it's like you don't have a moment to be selfish. And it's like, yeah, you know what? I am going to be selfish in this moment where I can't imagine just working a job. Even let's say I get paid $25 to $30 an hour. I don't think I could be a receptionist. Absolutely not. I don't know how I could just stay in one spot and look at a computer screen. I don't know how I could do that for $30 an hour. It's not worth it to me. It's not worth it to me. And he's like, Jess, sometimes you have to, he's like, you should be looking for these kind of jobs. And he was giving an example. We have what's called BC Ferries here. So it's a ferry from the islands and all that. And he's like, they're extremely flexible, and it's not too far from where I live. And he's like, it's not ideal, but you can get a job that they're going to be flexible with your hours, and you can probably get better money than you're making now. And he's like, you should be looking for something like that. Something that is going to give you flexibility. If you're able to afford childcare, it doesn't make sense to get a job right now when there's childcare, because childcare alone, someone was like, Jess, you like, I've had 3 people decline me childcare because of what I ask, and I feel like I ask on the low end. I ask for $15. Our minimum wage is like $15.75. So I ask on the low end, below minimum wage for childcare, and that's for full day service. And one of the kids wasn't potty trained and he still took naps. Which, if you've ever put a kid down for a nap, it is not always peaches and roses. It can be very difficult. Like, it's peaceful. Once they're asleep, it's like, great, this is awesome. But in the moment, it's like, wow, this is a lot. So I'm in this kind of lull phase, and my dad's trying to give me motivation. And I was like, you know what? I know what I want to do, but it's not practical in 2024. I want to do a life coaching course and be able to connect with people one-on-one. I want to have a tree fort sanctuary in the woods where people can come to and be able to prescribe herbs to people, be able to show people the medicine in their gardens and ways to heal themselves through the plants in nature. My dad's like, yeah, you're not going to make any money for that because you're going to have no clients. Nobody can afford that. Who can afford that? So how do I find something not only that I love, but that I also feel true to? Because I've had many jobs. I can work many jobs, but a lot of times I don't. And it's like, that's the fucking sacrifice of having a job. That's why I'm like, I'm staying at my job. I'm been there for almost 2 years. I'm not leaving because I want to work. Us as humans, we do have this innate desire to work. But when we don't see the point or the purpose, or there's no goal, it's really difficult. Or if that goal is overwhelming. Like, I see a lot of people in the grocery store who are working there who struggle, or the dollar store, they struggle because it's just so hard to keep up with anything because they're short staffed. Customers just leave shit everywhere, so they're always constantly reorganizing. They're always getting new product in, and it's just really difficult, right, to keep things flowing in the way that it should. Sometimes the workload is too much and we're like, I can't handle this. Physically, I cannot handle this. So there's many reasons why people may leave a job, but when do you know that it's the right time? And how do you do it appropriately so you don't sever any of the relationships? Because sometimes I have a really good relationship with my boss and with all my coworkers. I have a really good relationship with them all. But I don't want to sever that because I get angry at the fact that I get, not in shit, but I get vented to or poured onto about a mistake somebody else did at the beginning of my shift. So now this dumping of negativity starts my shift. So now I'm working 5 hours till 11:30 at night trying to get rid of this shit dump. And right now I'm not strong energetically to push that away. I'm very absorbent right now. I'm very sensitive in that way right now. And it's a tough one for sure. I'm like, do I just do serving again? And no. Maybe, I don't know. Right now I am a shameless can lady. I do collect cans. Is fine. I'm okay with it. Shameless can lady, and yeah, things are very expensive. And I just want to, I want this for everyone. I want us all to be able to enjoy life. And my dad and I are very different in the sense he's like, yeah, walk in the forest is nice and it's free, but don't you want to go to a Canucks game every now and again just because you can? And I'm like, are you trying to call me out, Dad? Because I like my walks in the park. I like those. Let me enjoy them. Dad, I think we went to a Canucks game last before you. Canucks hockey. I don't know if you guys don't know, I'm from British Columbia, Canada. I'm very close to Vancouver. I've kind of lived central to Vancouver, but not directly in Vancouver for a long time. So, yeah. So I'm like, Dad, we went to a Canucks game in like November. You know, we were just there. No, we weren't just there, but pretty much like we were pretty close. Pretty close. So, anyways, I'm gonna go and hang out with my family and spend a little time and just debrief. And yeah, if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. My name's Jess Marie, and I hope you have a wonderful day wherever you are in the world. Bye!